seen your fair share of bad things. What's going on?
Hi, I'm Sophia Jessica, and this is Angel, and welcome to the fan carpet.
Without spoiling anything, what makes the character of Jitters such an unsettling presence in the story?
I think Daniel just smashed that. Like, I think really, like, Daniel really brought Jitter's personality to life. Like, he's just very unpredictable. I think what I find really provoking about Jitters the clown is that he wants to be your friend, but he's not your friend.
Mm.
Being so friendly, you know, when someone's being over friendly with you, and you're thinking, "What are you up to? What's your agenda here?" Do you
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you've only just met me. You're trying to be really friendly. Like, what have you got hidden under your sleeves? And that's Jitters, you know. And it gives you that, like, I don't know if I trust this person. But what I think is what makes it unsettling, and I wanted to put this in the trailer, and I actually changed the quote of our poster as well, because it gave me goosebumps when I thought about it. And George did a wicked job at getting this line delivered. But the line of, "You can't beg emptiness for mercy." And I thought that was so powerful. And that's
Mm.
exactly what Jitters is. You can't beg Jitters for mercy because he has no soul. He's just a program of algorithms and analytics. So he's not going to give you mercy. So if you're begging on your knees, that doesn't come into his kind-hearted spirit. That just comes into a calculation of, am I or aren't I, or did you win, or what I'm programmed to do. So I think that's what makes Jitters very unsettling. That he is just a he is emptiness,
Mm.
and emptiness has nothing to lose, and that's what's scary about Jitters.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're involved in a number of projects at the moment. After Jitters, what can audience look forward to next from you?
So we actually just finished filming Jinx by my very, very good friend Richard Oakes, and produced alongside his wife Rue Oakes. Um, this was a very fun project. And I'm so proud of Richard, and I'm so proud of Rue. Like, I'm not gonna spoil their limelight on here, what they was able to do and capable to do. I want them to really talk about that themselves, so they can let that shine without me spoiling that.
Mm.
But they did
They'll get
something.
they'll get their chance. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And
They'll get their chance.
but like,
I'm yeah. I'll definitely.
there is something that they did which is incredible, which I wished I could rave about on here, but I want them to be the ones to
Yeah,
talk about that. They did
understood.
it, they did it as a family, and they did a great job, and it's a really cool film. It's set in the 80s, and we found all these cool 80s locations, and the actors, and it was just great. It was so much fun, and it was Richard's first film as a writer and as a director, doing this film on his own, because he normally co-directed. Now this is his first one, doing it alone, and he really, like, pushed his limits. And I'm
Mm.
so proud of him, and I'm so proud. It looks brilliant. I don't know if you saw the screen stills, but it looks amazing. Um,
I've seen the so I've seen the poster. I've seen the behind the scenes photos of when they converted their loft. Um, uh, I don't think I've seen the trailer yet. I don't think there is
no
one yet.
trailer yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no trailer. I don't think they're going to release a trailer until the actual close to announcing its release or distribution deal, if you want to call it.
yeah.
Um, but they did a great job, and they're great, and you should definitely get a chance to speak to both of them,
Oh yeah,
because
I definitely will.
they're really fun. I could in like, you've met Rich, so obviously I
Oh, I know
just
Richard. Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, send them my way. Yeah, absolutely.
amazing.
We'll
And
look
we've
that
also
one up.
got another film called Remembrance, that I was also a producer on. That was directed by James Denton. He's worked very hard on getting this film. It's a really cool, let's say, psychological thriller, which I think is great. That I'm also going to be pitching out for him. There is a trailer release for that. But what's next and what can people expect? We are currently now like heads down. We're working on our next two films called Last Resort, which is inspired by Captain Phillips / Castaway. Two of my favorite films. I'm a massive fan of Tom Hanks. So I wanted to kind of make a film that I could do that I'm something that I'm inspired by. And I kind of wanted to move away from horror for just one or two films, because I want to show that I am still a versatile director from Especially Homeless Ashes, going into which and then going into this. Like, I want to show that I'm not just a director and producer that can make horror films or thrillers. Because a lot of people say Jitters is kind of more like a thriller, psychological / a little bit of horror. But with Last Resort, I wanted to show that I can do something that's very emotionally depth. My wife always tells me that I'm very good at getting emotions on screen. So I think I'm going to enjoy doing that with Last Resort. Forsaken is a horror film that we're making inspired by The Ring, inspired by Omen and things like that, and Conjuring. Same again, I'm doing this for the market. I'm looking at films that are coming out in the next 2-3 years. And these are the kind of genres that are very popular from my prediction of release and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm actually looking forward to filming that, because I'll be interested to see what I could do, because I made Witch, and people said that Witch was, when we made Witch, people said that that was more of a historical, dark historical gothic horror.
Yeah,
It was
I'd agree with that. I think it's more like thriller and sci-fi, but yeah.
Like, but it wasn't very much on the horror side. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm being a bit too gentle here, Mark, you know? Like, and then I was like, and then even with Jitters, a lot of people said, well, this feels like more of a crime thriller, cyberpunk / horror. So I'm like, okay. So I think Forsaken is going to be like a full-on like horror thriller, like The Ring thing. So I'm excited to challenge that and learn from that, from what I've seen. So that's what we're doing, really. That's what we've got. And me and James are excited. We've got a great team. We're building as much as we can, and we're shooting that in Malta. So that should be quite fun. Last Resort, we were going to shoot in Thailand, but some business side didn't make sense, so we've decided that we might potentially shoot that in Mauritius. So that would be quite a cool experience, I think, shooting in Mauritius if we do that. But yeah, that's what's going down, really. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. You've always got something up your sleeve, and I can't wait to see what you do. So yeah, it's awesome. All right. So when audiences finally see Jitters, what do you hope that they take away from the film, from the experience?
Just have fun, have fun, guys. Like, look, I'm like, look, I've been in this game for a long time. This is going to be like Marmite. If no one in America knows what Marmite is and you listen to this, Marmite is something that you either love or you hate.
Yeah.
I'm prepared that people are either going to love this, they're going to hate it. Some people are probably going to be scared of it. Some people are going to be like, this is really silly. But just have fun. This is what we do, right? We make films for you to have fun. Like, it's either like, when this is not the film that I want you to go, I need to get my teeth into. I don't know if you have this, Mark, but when you sit there, you watch it, you go through Netflix or you go through Amazon Pluto or whatever you watch, and you see a film and you're like, oh, that looks like a good film, but does my brain have the capacity for this right now? So you don't watch it, you just add it to your list. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But then
I've done that.
you find something and then you see the trailer and you're like, this makes me feel like I don't have to think too much and it's going to be enjoyable. It looks good. It looks fun. I've been working 9 to 5. I am absolutely knackered. I just need something nice and easy that I can watch. Probably not nice and easy, but when they do watch it, they'll be like, you know what, that was fun. I enjoyed it. Would they watch it a second time? Probably not. Would they watch it a second time because they loved it? Probably. I don't know. But I think that people will take away this film and they'll go, you know what, that was fun. I was entertained and is very in about the AI. Or some people probably walk away and go, the typical, I've just wasted 90 minutes of my life that I can't get back, and then give me a bad review. It's fine. You know? It is what it is.
But at the end of the day, you can't please everyone. I mean, like
Yeah, exactly.
our friend Howard J. Ford has just premiered his film Bone Keeper up in Edinburgh, sorry, Glasgow, and you're not going to please everybody. I think it's a brilliant film, but you're not going to please everyone.
Yeah, it's like everyone has different preferences. Everyone has
Mm,
different tastes, you know, like, and this is the funny thing about Jitters, like when we made Jitters, a lot of people said to me, like, and I like criticism. I love criticism. You know, I'm not saying give me criticism purposely, but like I love it because like if I look at the fans and the audiences that are watching this and they say, like, for example, they felt Witch was a bit too slow. They felt like a lot more could have been happening. But then there were some people that was like, oh my God, this was great. It was clever. It's very good twists. I'm going to listen to what people say and go, okay, some people said this was too slow. So let me fasten things up a little bit. Let me make it a bit more exciting. Let me put a bit of Red Bull into this, as you would say, you
mm,
know. And then I've done it. And then some people's gone to me, Mark, this is too fast.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, I've gone, okay, so now it's too fast. And then I slowed it down. And then when I slowed it down, I've had some people feedback and going, there's some bits that are a bit slow. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, do you
You
know
can't,
what?
yeah,
Please
you
everyone.
can't please it. You can't please
Yeah,
everyone. The general rule is that if you try and please everyone, you'll please no one.
yeah, exactly. So
So, and in the case of Witch, I thought it was a brilliant pace. I didn't think it was slow at all. But then I like those films that kind of just build, and I know there's
yeah,
plenty more story to tell as well. So because I was talking to Russell about this, who's also got a cameo in Jitters. That there's so many ways that the story can go, and like that question, he said that there was a question asked at the when you wrapped, like who the witch is, and
yeah,
nobody's got the right answer, and I don't know if I do either, because the witch is, I guess the witch is whoever it think it is to you, rather than
yeah. That
rather
is
than
exactly right.
yeah.
You
So yeah,
because we would think, yeah, well, I don't mind spoiling it now. It's out, but like, but like, it is how you perceive who is the witch. You know,
yeah.
who it is, and personally, for me, the witch in my eyes was Russell because he was Russell's character, William, because he was the one with the book and created all of this mayhem. You
Mm.
know, like, so for me, in my eyes, he's the witch. Do you know what I mean? Not Twyla. But then some people look at it and go, well, no, Twyla's the witch because she's the one that's possessed, or so everyone has their own interpretation of who the witch is. Maybe no one is the witch. Maybe this is all just a psychological illusion that they had. Like, it really
Well,
depends.
yeah, I mean, to me, it was also that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, because, like, because like Russell's character comes back to set things all in motion, but if he didn't come back, nothing would be in motion. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but then, but then, is the witch Ella's character Ella Starbucks character because she's a baby, and is that how the witch is? So it can go in so many different ways. It was fascinating.
Dude, you've really looked into the film. I love
It
it.
was it's I enjoyed it. It was fascinating. Um,
I love that. That's really cool, man. Because some people get so lost in films. Like, I think this is which is one of those films that you have to really watch. It's not one of those films that you could just sit there and go, oh, I'm gonna quickly go and on my phone and cook dinner while it's on. Because
mm,
if you miss certain parts of that film, you're gonna go, well, I don't know what's going on. You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those films you have to sit there and watch. And if
Yeah.
you miss something, you're going to miss a certain clue. You know, and I think that's the film that we wanted to kind of create. We wanted it to be, we wanted to. I think one thing that when we made this film with Craig, when I made this film with Craig, is that the idea that we wanted to have with this film was people like to feel like they know the answers and challenging people's intelligence.
Mm,
So when your intelligence is challenged, people don't like it because they want to be right. So
mm,
I think that's what we wanted to do, Rich. We wanted to just, you know, let's challenge your intelligence. Let's see if you can work this out.
mm,
And most of the people that couldn't work it out would just say it's a boring film. But the people that did manage to work it out or trying to work it out, they loved it, you know, and that's great. And that's a very niche market because, you know, like I said, when you want to watch a film, you want to turn off sometimes. So if you want to turn off, which is definitely not the film you should watch because you're going to be baffled, you know. So yeah.
well, yes, unless you're just going for the surface level, like of who the witch is, and if that's the case, and you just want a surface level thing, then the witch is the I can't remember the character's name, but she's the one who decapitated her family.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then,
Mims.
then it's her. Then she's the witch, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But then
exactly.
yeah, it can go in so many ways, and I know you've got plans for a sequel, and I'd love to see it. So um,
Amazing.
yeah. So as a producer, what excites you most about working in independent film today?
I think what I really love about the independent film industry and what I like as a producer, Hollywood's dead. Hollywood's dead. And I mean that in the best respect possible, like way. I'm not saying that Hollywood don't make great films, but reason why Hollywood is dead because Hollywood was all about creating cinema. We don't live in a cinema world anymore. Like cinema seems to be for films that are only franchises, you know, big franchises because it's expensive and it's risky for a lot of filmmakers, a lot of distributions. I get it. Like I've seen it. So what excites me is that for an independent filmmaker is that the doors have opened wider than they have ever been before as a
Mhm,
producer because there's so many platforms from Hulu to Comcast to Tubi to Netflix and Amazon and the list can go on. And they're all hungry for content. They all want content. They all need content. Because if they're not all getting different parts of content and genre contents or different contents, then they're all just showing the same thing, really.
mhm,
You know, um, what's the point of all showing the same thing if you could just buy one platform and get what they're giving you? So because there's so many streaming platforms, because everything is not like it used to be, like the old Blockbuster days where you go down, you buy a DVD or rent a VHS, and you are committed to watching that film. If you get bored in 10 seconds, you turn that off and you watch another film. Or you turn it halfway through and say, let's go to bed, and then you probably turn it on and watch another film straight after. You binge through stuff these days. So what I like as an independent filmmaker and what excites me is that the opportunities are much more wider now. You know, you can have an iPhone, you could have a phone, and you can make a film on your phone, and you can get that distributed because someone will take it because everyone is hungry for content.
mhm,
And if you make something amazing, you could be a filmmaker. Where before being a filmmaker and having that filmmaker's dream, it wasn't that accessible. It wasn't that accessible. Those doors were very closed. You know, you would need an agent, you would need an agent writer, you would need to find access to cameras and certain things and certain stars or whatever it was. Like it wasn't as accessible as it is now. We're very fortunate and very entitled and very privileged to be in our situation as filmmakers. And I think every filmmaker should just pick up a camera and start shooting whatever they can with the resources that they have. And that's exactly what I do. and I don't allow anything to stop me because I know the doors are open. It's even getting to a point now that there's vertical films and vertical series that are out where it's such short form content and creation that you could even do it on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no excuses now, you know. Before there was a lot of barriers, but now there's not. And I think that's exciting. That's an exciting time for a lot of young filmmakers, for a lot of old school filmmakers to have this opportunity. And that's what excites me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sean Baker is one of them with Tangerine. He just had it. I think, didn't he film the whole thing on his iPhone?
I think so, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally on your hand. You could, I'm not being funny. You could buy DJI mics that are very good mics for about 300 quid. You could have an iPhone because everyone's got an iPhone, and you could put that DJI mic on people, and you could go around and shoot a movie. Okay, it's not going to look cinematically like it's come off Netflix, but enough to put on YouTube, even, you know, like it's there, man. It's there in the palm of your hands. Like the filmmaker's dream is very achievable now. And then you could only upscale, you could only learn, you could only get better, you could only get bigger. And I think that's a very privileged time to be in. I think like one thing that I realized, and I remember this, being told this, is the only thing that stops us is our own excuses. People make excuses why they can't do things. You know,
Yeah.
they'll hold on to certain things, but will just say like, "Oh, I can't do this because of this. I can't do this because of that." And then, no matter what you tell that person, like, "Well, why can't you do it like this?" And it always just ends up coming back to that excuse that stops them. And that's the only thing that's stopping people is excuses. And I think I hope that I could be a great inspiration for a lot of people that are young. Well, I'm not young anymore, but
Hmm.
you know, young filmmakers or young people or filmmakers that feel they question or doubt themselves. Like, I don't come from a privileged background. I'm not a privileged person at all. I come from, I would call the ghetto back in my day. Like, I come from Bethnal Green, Hackney, like from a council estate. Like, I have grafted my ass off. And if I can do it, you can do it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And you've proven that because you've got what two or three companies now?
Oh,
Uh,
uh, four?
Four. Okay, four.
I
Okay.
think four or five. Aptitude. So I got Aptitude Films,
Yeah.
Skylark Vision.
Hmm.
We're opening up Skylark Vision Malta this year. We was meant to do it last year, but we knew we was a bit busy with Jitters, so we kind of put it on hold. We just launched Aptitude Pictures, which is to help filmmakers pitch their films to distributions and respectable and reputable sales agents, or just getting it to certain platforms, because we have the access gate. Let's say call ourselves the gatekeeper, like we have the keys to these people. And then I have Homeless Not Invisible, which is part of a charity from Homeless Ashes, which is
Oh,
great
okay.
because a portion of the profits that we make from Homeless Ashes go towards homeless charities,
Wow.
which is very nice to have that, to be in that position. And I have, what else? I have a coffee brand that I'm launching soon.
Okay.
So if
A
you like
coffee
coffee,
brand as well.
send a
I
bag,
don't drink coffee. The funny thing with coffee with me is that it has the opposite effect on me than it has on most people.
makes you fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and and the fumes in particular make me irritable and ratty. And I found that out because I was working on my laptop in a Costas coffee, and I was getting really annoyed with the internet connection, and I shouldn't have got that annoyed because it was an internet connection.
Exactly. There you go.
So,
Uh,
and the
and
common denominator was the fact that it was coffee. So,
I think that's it. And obviously, every film that we've done is technically a company.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've lost count.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram for more content. Bye for now.
Can't beg emptiness for mercy.
Sam, this beast is real.
Why don't you show what you can do? I hear a siren. Maybe you were wrong about me. I'm dangerous and still be. Why don't you give me a sign, like the sea that leads a trail along that shore? It's not your problem, it's mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in, I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe, a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.